A warm welcome to you and thank you very much for joining us. Now, by Friday in Cameroon, the major national dialogue to propose solutions to the country's Anglophone crisis comes to an end. Since Monday, about 700 delegates have been working behind closed doors in 8 commissions on issues such as the return of the displaced, the judicial and educational system, bilingualism and the disarmament of ex-combatants. The 8th commission, which has been the most watched and the most important, focuses on decentralization and local development. So far, it has recorded huge and heated debates.
Quite heated exchanges indeed. For the opposition, it is a monologue rather than a dialogue. Several political parties have slammed the door, condemning the lack of debate on the real reasons for the crisis, namely the question of federalism as well as the fate of political prisoners. And while the separatists refuse Paul Biya's invitation, today we ask how this dialogue is perceived in the English-speaking regions. We will discuss this in more detail with Sir Terence Bom, a journalist who joins us from Bamenda, Cameroon. Hello, and thank you for being with us this morning. Can you give us a clear picture of the current situation in the English-speaking regions?
You know, like the national dialogue, the long-awaited national dialogue that was called by the head of state of the Republic of Cameroon, President Paul Biya, which started on Monday. And the one funny thing here is this dialogue actually started on Monday when it happens to be one of those regular ghost towns that have been observed in the English-speaking regions of the country since the start of the crisis, when the crisis actually started escalating in 2017. One thing you will note around Bamenda is that, yesterday, Monday, that actually was, yesterday, Tuesday, that was actually the 1st of October, the day, the self-proclaimed Amazonian activists, see it as their day for independence. They actually had people who went out to the streets in some areas like Bello, and not as many as they did go out sometime in 2017.
Terence, tell us, why do you think that leaders of the separatist movement refused to attend the conference? Why did they boycott the dialogue?
There is one thing that has been so evident. They do not trust the government. They do not trust the government. They say that dialogue cannot be ongoing when there is still fighting ongoing in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. Just a week to the dialogue that was announced in Bafut, one of the hottest areas of the crisis, Bafut happens to be one of those areas where you have the most active Amazonian fighters unit. The palace, which happens to be a UNESCO heritage site, was invaded by professional, armed men. The inhabitants of the place, they say it was the military. And of course, even the FON of Bafut actually issued an official statement saying, stating clearly that the act was carried out by members of the Rapid Intervention Battalion.
What have been the reactions in the English-speaking regions since the beginning of this current National Dialogue Conference?
Actually spoke with one of the senators that comes from the region, from the Northwest region, just before the dialogue started. And this was his reaction. They should be, they still believe that there should be a neutral mediator. They believe that government already has an